Week 7 of the high school football season and another road trip for the Bears as we've got our weekly game preview brought to you by EMS Detergent Services. And before we look ahead to the Northeast Goose Lake Rebels, Jason, look back, homecoming, back at home. Bears coming off the first loss of the season, 52-14 victory. Seemed like the guys really came to play Friday night.
They did a lot of things well, Steven. I mean, when you put up 52 points, in fact, the Bears get up 14-0. Give up 6 on defense, and then all of a sudden, and they score a lot and very quickly. 35-6, 2 special teams touchdowns. Things you get 2 in a season, that's usually pretty good. But 2 in one game by one player. Every aspect of the game was working very well. The defense played well. Offense, every guy pretty much was a stat sheet stuffer, as Clark Kellogg would say. But it was good to get a win and get that feeling back again.
Yeah, and it was a situation, I mean, we talked about going in, this is a North Cedar squad that had struggled at times this year. They're still trying to get some things turned around up in that program. So it could easily be a game with a lot of distractions, maybe overlook things. But the Bears really kept their focus and took care of the business and then got a lot of guys in. And you saw even some of those second and third string guys, some of the JV guys that were doing some pretty good things when they got out on the field.
John Yates was 1 yard away from his first career touchdown. Great block by the uncommon play of the game, Davin Camacho. Just some other guys that had the opportunity. Trey Eagle stepped in a quarterback for a little while, had a nice run and slid like he's coached in practice when he got the yardage he needed. But it's just good in those situations. Everybody got the opportunity to play, Stephen, and putting in a lot of work on the field behind us in practice and being rewarded for it.
And then moves them to 5-1 now, back to 500 in district play, 1-1 with just 3 left to play. And the next one, another long road trip. We get to go almost to Bellevue, not quite as far, but it's about the same east-west, but not quite as far north. So hopefully it'll be a little warmer, I think. But Goose Lake, we've got Northeast squad 0-6 right now. They've got some phenomenal offensive weapons. They've struggled quite a bit defensively, though.
Well, first off, this state, we've got to play there twice in 5 days in 2003, so they figured since we did that, let's not play again for 15 years. But yeah, offensively, their numbers jump off the page. Really jump, specifically from a passing standpoint, Stephen, they jump off the page. I mean, you probably got some of it written down here. Dawson Stoll, wide receiver, has got almost 50 catches in 6 games.
Second.
Was he second in the state?
Second in the state for receptions. First, if you take away 8-man played. I mean,
seriously, an 11-man, he's number 1. Their quarterback's thrown for almost 1,600 yards. The one thing you're going to see, I mean, rushing yards, they are there. But on the other hand, a quarterback we talked about this in the podcast. It's 61 carries for negative 108 yards or something like that. If the pass is not coming out quickly, if he's not getting the quick hit to Stoll or big player, Braden Hoyer, fantastic athlete. He's a 12-point a game scorer in basketball. He's a 6'8" high jumper, very quick. Iowa's actually kind of given him a look. He's been a visitor there twice this year as an athlete. Not sure how they're recruiting him, but they've got players that just jump off the page. It's just from a passing standpoint, you don't see this very often. 11-man, Stephen.
Yeah, I mean, you look Stoll, like I said, third in yardage in the state. At all classes, entire state. Dakota Stevenson, the guy at running back, 500 yards, but he's getting about 5 yards per pop. They just don't run it very often. And then Nate Lang, 62% completion percentage, 7 touchdowns. He does have 7 interceptions. The interesting thing I saw, you look at those 3 guys, what they do offensively, they're their 3 leading tacklers defensively too.
Is it? When they make plays, that's funny you mentioned that. I was going to bring that up. This guy's like Johnny on the spot. That's why he gets the big bucks as the play-by-play guy. But they're doing it on both sides of the field. You got two-way players. Like in small schools, it's going to happen. You got to have the guys, and they're the best athletes. The best athletes make plays on offense and defense. Look at West Branch. Some of the best athletes on offense are doing the same thing. But if you think, looking at the record on paper, and this is where I'll leave it, looking at on paper, you see the record of 1-5, 5-1, reverse records. Is that right? 1-5, 0-6. My fault. I missed one, once in a while. But still, if you think that, you're just going to step right up and just step right in, and this game is over when you get off the bus, forget it. When you're putting up that many yards, Stephen, as we've recited, and you can look on quick stats and check it out. This is an offense. You give them some confidence, and it's just, the roll along little doggies, here we go, and they're going to put it up quickly. So the defense needs to come to play.
needs to come to play. And like we talked a little bit last week, a little bit in the podcast as well, Bears just really need to stay focused, focus on what they need to be doing to execute, do their jobs, offense, defense, special teams, whoever's out there, and then just take care of business from that point on, and things should take care of themselves.
And get the confidence back with a road victory. On the road this year, they're 1 win, 1 loss. Get it back so they get that feeling again after a 160-mile round trip, and then hopefully get into week 8 for the senior night on a high, and on riding a 2-game. It's not a streak, but back-to-back wins. We'll have to see you on Friday.
It's a 7 o'clock kickoff. We will have all of the coverage for you with the Bearcast. Our pregame starts at about 6:30 from Goose Lake, and we'll have all of the action. Big thank you to EMS Detergent Services, our sponsor here for our weekly game preview, and we'll have more action for you all week long at westbranchfootball.com.